I I
Technical
think that Zach needs to humble himself. I think if he doesn't and he has these performances over and he can't make a 10-yard like dunk, right? A screen pass, and he just doesn't want to, not because he like the whole mentality of oh let me go. This isn't like backyard football. Like he needs to really try and throw and learn the process, and then things will be open. You saw Garrett Wilson and all the receivers talk crap. I heard a point. Maybe they didn't trade Elijah Moore because maybe he was right. Maybe it's why are the Jets dumbing down the offense when there's players that are on another level when they could be balling out when Zach can't learn it because he doesn't want to. That's the problem. If
I don't think that's fair. I think
Uh,
that
I
all
like
the
that.
that's
indications inside
horrible.
the building
That's
have been that
horrible.
Zach is a film junkie and stuff. Maybe it's just not clicking.
Yeah, like
I think there's some blame that has to be put on Matt LaFleur. Like Kurt Warner did a really good breakdown about how the route concepts don't always make sense sometimes. Not saying that like obviously Conklin was open on that should have been an interception that Zach threw over the middle, and we all saw the play where Mims was open in the end zone by himself. But like I do think that Lafleur seems hesitant to open up the playbook with Zach at quarterback for whatever reason, and
that's such a bad
I think
take too,
James just
Mike.
got humbled or triggered from what we did to him at
No,
Thanksgiving with the
because what?
backyard football comment, Mike.
Well, Mike, when you say that Zach Wilson doesn't want to learn or doesn't want to get like what? That's such a horrible. That's just such a stupid take. And as a Jets fan, like you hear that from the media and stuff, but you're a Jets fan yourself, and you're saying that. That's so terrible. That's just like that's such a media
were
based
were you
reaction. That's recency
were
biased.
you a, were
He
you
doesn't want to learn. Obviously, he wants to learn. He wants to be good. What kind of?
is
Ugh, that's terrible, Mike. I'm sorry. I'm
is
sorry.
that the same
That's
mentality that you
terrible.
take the bet?
See, you come at you. I just proved you horribly
No,
wrong,
but
and
like,
then
so
you
let me
just
ask you:
come
were
at
you a
that
believer in Sam?
absurd. That
Makes
was,
oh
yeah.
by the way,
Still am.
I can't wait to watch Sam
Yeah,
throw
how
for
about
two
that?
picks and get destroyed by the Broncos.
No, he's gonna go
Get
off,
destroyed by the
man. He's gonna
Broncos.
go off. He's
Sam
angry.
I
Darnold is a
like
bum.
Sam Darnold. I don't think. I think we screwed him over
Yeah,
from the
we
start with
he
Adam
never
Gase.
had the weapons that Zach has.
You
He never
were
had a
all about
chance.
Jay Crowder,
He
Christopher.
never had a chance.
James, yeah, that guy was a dog, but that's all he had. That guy was a dog.
True. He
He
also
was
had
so good. But that's all he had. Compared to what Zach has, it's nothing.
it's
Darnold's
pretty
gonna be
crazy
well.
how recently we had like Le'Veon Bell and all those guys. It just feels like forever ago. Just feels like if this happened with Adam Gase and what's his name, John Izek or Mike McCagnon as GM, like I would have a completely different tone. But I feel like Joe Douglas and Robert Sala deserve the trust to write this shit.
No, right. So, David, to your point before, like trusting Robert Sala. Robert Sala is the boss. So if he could tell Mike Lafleur to like open up the playbook, but he's not saying that. So this Sunday, when we see if they open the playbook and Garrett Wilson's running bombs and Elijah Moore's doing slant routes and all these different like plays are open,
Well,
if
that's
they
the thing. They will be doing that because they're playing the Bears. Like every team since the trade deadlines put up 30 points on the Bears. It doesn't have to be a great.
But why has Elijah not been in the slot at
He
all?
has Zach missed him twice in the New England game. They punished
He
him
was great
against.
last
He
year
had
in the
two
slot.
catches.
No,
I mean
he was an outside receiver last year.
No, because I could have sworn he was the slot guy because he was taking reps from Crowder. But whatever. I mean, I want to see him in the slot.
I think what I do like is that Joe Douglas and Robert Sala are not taking any crap. Like if there's a sense of against the grain, which has been good. I mean, look, no matter what any of us, no matter what James says, what I say, David, Chris says, this has been the best that Jeff Van has felt in since 2015, right? And so, no matter what happens, right? Like Elijah Moore wanted to be traded, they just said, okay, just sit, go over there and sit, right? Zach even says no, no, whether you think that's right or wrong, right? They said go sit, and they just smooth it over and get rid of it at that point. They keep the ball rolling.
But I think it's also their doing it based off what the public
No,
wants
I
them
don't.
to do.
I
And
don't
I
think
think
that's
that's
true.
wrong.
I don't think.
Because if it should be no decision. It's a young quarterback versus the worst defense in the league. If he shits the bed on Sunday, start him at least. If he sucks, then you know. If he goes off, he goes off, and that's like I think they're taking away a chance for Zach to have a positive
It,
outcome out of a game. I think it's a bad move to bet. If it's the Patriots this week or a good defense this week, I get it.
I
But
don't.
they're
I
literally
don't
the
think
worst
that.
defense
I
in the
don't think
NFL.
they're.
And you're not
They're
giving him a
listening to the
chance.
fans, James. I think it's solely because of the comment he made in his press conference. If he just took responsibility, he'd be the quarterback
Yeah.
this week. One Jets Twitter is in general
I think-
pretty
I
dumb
think it's
with
missing
their
context.
takes. If you just if you look at it during a game, they're way too reactionary. But I don't agree at all that we should be going after one of these veteran quarterbacks like Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers has been thrown out there a couple times. I saw. I don't agree at all with that. Those guys would struggle just as much.
I think if we had Jimmy G in this offense, we would be
Jimmy
one of the
G's
best teams.
like
in
a
the
statue.
NFL.
He'd be sacked 10 times a game.
I don't know. He balled
I
out
think
the other
it-
night. He was good. He's great in that offense. I think he's great in
I think
in
the
that
option
offense.
should
And
be
if we had a quarterback that
Carr,
like
Cousins, or Garoppolo. Like
They
it's
wouldn't be able to stand behind this offensive line and be productive.
yeah. I mean,
Zach was flushed out of the pocket almost every drop back last week. There were maybe a handful where he had a second to look at his first read, but pretty much I could only remember plays where he gets to his top step and then has to immediately flush out to the left or right. I don't think those guys and Judon would be on those guys immediately. I don't think there's any difference.
yeah. Well,
all right,
yeah.
let's leave it there. With that, the next topic I have on the list is Kevin Durant, baby. What do you guys think? He lit his quote. Does anyone have the actual quote?
What
Where he
said
went
about
and
the
named
players.
his starting lineup and said, "What do you expect?"
Yeah.
Do you guys blame KD for? the
Do we
Nets
have
not
to
being
talk
good?
about the NBA now? The season doesn't start
Absolutely.
until Christmas Day.
I think this is a huge deal. I had been saying that the Nets should blow it up even back until last year. I don't think Kevin Durant's he's the best, he's the most talented basketball player, of
No,
course, on the planet,
Giannis.
but he's a terrible leader. No,
Giannis
I
No.
think
is
KD's
significantly more
talented than
talented.
no. With the no.
Listen, the NBA
With
is
the
a
basketball,
reality
if
show.
you need
It
a
doesn't
bucket-
matter what Kevin Durant says because players are going to want to play with him because he gives them a chance to win. That's
Yeah, I think that's a joke. I agree. I think the NBA is becoming a joke. I can't believe Kevin Durant said that and there was no penalty. Or his teammate. If my teammate named me for basically being bad,
they already
That's
hate
horrible.
each other. They wanted to be traded before the season.
I think at some point,
I don't get it. How do you not get suspended?
I think whatever team is going to be hot, whether it be any team that's been connected to him, the Grizzlies, the Heat, the Lakers, the Warriors, even by the trade deadline, the Nets are going to get a haul, and they just want to, like, he does not want to be there. I mean, we can shake our heads, we can be mad, like, he does
No,
not
trade.
want to be there. So, and you can almost tell in basketball players when they, like, are more lackadaisical on the court. Like, I think Kevin Durant has a whole nother level that he can go to, and he's just putting up 25 a night because he just can, because he's Kevin Durant. But I think that his comments are not one like they say it all the time. All he wants to do is hoop. He's not like a leader. He's not someone that's rally the troops. If so, he would have stopped Kyrie. Period. Like, we've seen players do it. We've seen players say, "Hey, no more, stop." And all he wants to do is hoop. And I think that honestly, I could see him going back to the Warriors, like Jordan Poole, Wiseman.
Because he needs it.
I think Kevin Durant's going to be out of the league in a few years. I think super teams are dying.
That's
I
a
don't think
bold
you could
take,
have
James.
I think
What
him
is
and
a full
Kyrie
year?
are both bombs.
Kyrie, I
Super
could
teams-
get, but KD, no.
Super teams are dying out, and KD. Can't
What is
play
a
with
full
his
year?
own team. He
What
can't
is a
be
few years?
leader. And you look at
Like number wise.
Give it 3 years.
What is he, like 30
3
something?
years.
32?
No, his name will take him further than that.
No, but teams are starting to see it. Look at the Jazz. They're one of the best teams in the West. They should be terrible, but they're not because they play good team basketball. The Warriors are bad. Okay. Every super team within the past 2 years that was supposed to be good is terrible.
Yeah, but what
The Lakers are
happens at the
terrible.
end of the year? It's just a matter of getting into the playoffs for a lot of these teams.
Teams aren't. Not really. No, it's
It
not.
is.
No,
The
it's
only
not.
team that has successfully
No, it's
been able to
not.
do what you're saying
How many
is Miami.
how many teams do you think
is
could
it.
realistically win an NBA championship?
The Warriors did it last year. I think there's a bunch this season. The Sixers are bad. I can name. It's not about
Boston.
having superstars
Golden
anymore.
State.
Boston. I'd say
I hope
Boston
so.
could win a championship. I
Boston.
don't think the Sixers can.
Golden State.
Homegrown.
Golden State
Exactly.
still has to be up there. So
Golden State still can. The
Nope.
Suns. I think the Suns win it this
Guys,
year.
whoever listens to this, by the way, James is so far up Devin Booker's butt that just put that out there.
The fact. No, it's.
But
He's an
James
MVP
brings up an
candidate.
interesting point because in football, we like the last couple of years, it's been very geared towards scoring, and the rules still are. But then this year, touchdowns and stuff are way down because it's the cycle. We really since the NBA started going with this like 3 and no D type of style, just scoring as many points as possible. We really haven't seen the regression where where defenses really start to take over. So maybe we're starting to see that, but I really don't think so because I think it's still a superstar league.
I think as of right now, I think
don't
that
think
the
so at
league is
all.
kind of balanced, but it's kind of like the NBA. Like there's no like real powerhouse team. Like, um, but I think that we'll see more after Christmas and after New Year's and see which teams are gonna really establish themselves as who's it. Like I think right now, in my opinion, the Bucks are like the team. Like they are the most all around team. But yeah, I don't know.
Think it's.
I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
it's
think
Phoenix.
I want the NBA to go back to playing defense, but I don't think it's ever
Do
going
you
to.
guys remember when we were kids and they had
All the teams.
it was Knicks, Chicago on like Easter Day, Derrick Rose versus Carmelo Anthony, and it was like a 90-89 game, but it was so exciting to watch because you didn't know.
Yeah, that you'll never see that
I-
anymore.
What super team? What super team right now? It has a chance, or quote unquote super team has a chance to win the
Are
championship.
there any
this
super
season.
teams?
Are you ruling out the Warriors or no?
How do you define a
The
super
Warriors
team?
are
James?
homegrown for the most part. A team like
The
the
Nets-
Nets
No,
or like the
I don't even. I
Lakers.
don't
The Nets
consider
have
the Nets
one
a
and a
super
half
team. That never
superstars.
worked.
That's what I'm saying. Teams are starting. Teams are
What do you
starting
mean
to
one and a
build.
half? Who's half a
Tyreek because he
superstar?
only plays half the games.
I just want to throw it out there.
Okay.
The Knicks and Rangers are the best
Look
teams
at the
ever. Just
Timberwolves.
want
They
to throw it
made this
out there.
big trade. Okay,
The Knicks are
no.
exciting to watch. They
The
just can't
Timberwolves-
shoot.
That's my PSA.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
you gotta build.
Christmas
You gotta
Day
go
will be
through.
our cutoff for actually talking
Through the
about the
draft.
NBA. Thanksgiving's a pretty big cutting off point for the NFL. Did any of the teams that? What did you guys think of the 3 games on Thanksgiving? I didn't watch much of the Patriots Vikings game because I was tired, but I thought Giants played pretty well. Some interesting coaching decisions. Like what? I think the
Covered.
big one was Dayball going for it on 4th down from like the 50-yard line when they were up.
Oh, that's the one where Jones missed.
Yeah, it was a
Saquon,
bad
right?
throw. People were saying they should have punted
Yeah.
and made the field longer. That's kind of old school NFL versus new school NFL right there.
I
But
think
I think it was okay that they go
Uh,
for it. Like, Dallas has a dynamic offense. There's a good chance they score even if you punt it.
The Giants. The Giants might lose out for the rest of the season. So
They had a super
think they
easy
make playoffs.
schedule.
Do you think
I
that
saw.
they'll lose out?
I think they beat the Commanders and the Colts, and I think they lose the rest of the games.
They're underdogs against the Commanders.
I think
Heineke's
At home.
4-1 as a
I think
starter.
they're frauds.
I have a
I think
I have
the
a message from a fan. Big Bobby Abrams has a hot take that James is kind of cute. Just put it out there. But
Thanks, Bob.
I'm
Appreciate
sure we'll
it.
be getting that a lot.
What'd you say?
I said I'm sure we'll be getting that a lot. James is in his pajamas, by
James,
the way.
stand up.
They actually have a tough. James might not be.
Yeah, I think the Giants
They
are
could
frauds.
reasonably lose out. They play the Eagles twice, the Vikings in Minnesota, the Commanders twice, and then the Colts.
They haven't beat like every one of their wins has been close, and that was like the Yankees this year. Early in the season, they won all the close games, and then now you're kind of seeing that with the Giants. I mean, all their wins were super close down to the last minute, and now it's kind of.
I agree. That's a good take.
They're on the wrong side of the ball.
That's a good take.
I think that Lions loss may have ended their season, and I hate to say
Okay,
it. 'Cause I do
okay,
like the
okay.
Giants, even though I'm a Jets fan.
Let's play a game then, right? We're gonna play the game win loss. So I'm gonna read off the rest of the Giants games, right? And then all of us are gonna say win or loss. Okay.
Okay.
So let me go here. All right. Next we have Commanders at Giants. Win or loss?
Win.
I think it's a
Okay.
loss.
I think. Oh,
I think it's
loss
a win.
too.
At
I
home,
think
win.
it's a loss.
I think the Commanders. It's going to be close, but I think
I'm
it's
gonna
the
try to
Commanders.
meet Taylor Heineke. All the teams stay at the hotel across from my apartment
What?
when they come to MetLife.
I fully believe it.
Good luck with that.
I mean,
Get
the
them
rest
some
of the
special
Giants
guests.
games. I mean, honestly, they have 2 versus the Eagles, 2 versus the Commanders, and then 1 versus the Vikings and 1 versus the Colts. I don't think it'll be fun. I think they split honestly, the Eagles and Commanders games. So that's 2-2 right there, and I think they split the Vikings and Colt games. So that's 3-3. So what's the record now?
You think they beat the Vikings, right? Or
So I think
the
they're.
Colts.
I think they could beat the Colts.
I think they'll be 10-7, right? That's it, right? 10-7, 9-6 at most.
I just don't think their offense is that good.
No, but they're not.
defense
They're
is
like
good.
they're really not a good team. But I think that like this is took everyone for surprise, right? Like they're playing really well, and honestly, if they end up like 1 game below 500, that should be great. We, as New York fans, we expected a total of 7 wins, like
we are
between
grateful
both
for that.
teams. So like, I mean, honestly, like I think Giants fans are in a good spot. I think they're like saying like, you know what, if we make the playoffs, fantastic, and that'll be great, right? But if
Yeah,
I just
but
think there's a false sense of
I
hope
think
right now.
I think starting off 7-1.
What it's going to
kinda
come
wins
down
the
to
playoffs.
is the 2 Commanders games because the Commanders are 6-5. They play the Falcons tomorrow, so that's most likely a win since it's in Washington. So 7-5, the Giants have a half game at hand, but if they don't split at least with the Commanders, they're in trouble of finishing last in danger of finishing last in that division.
here's a question: if the Jets make the
Would
playoffs,
that be
for each game, what will we be in the full nude? Like
No.
watching these games.
I think our defense could
Wasn't-
keep us in the game. I'm not worried about the Jets as much as I
They're
am the
built
Giants.
very much like 2009, 2010, just much younger, so it's sustainable. So I actually think as much as I hope we break the coin this weekend, it's saying that we're going to the AFC Championship game would be on the money, I think. Listen, I was optimistic before the year. I said we were going to win 10 games. I still think we're going to win 10 games.
So was I.
But
That's true.
Yeah.
Good takes. All right, let's finish out here.
What
what about the
sorry,
Bills?
what do you have to say, James? Is it quick?
What
No, let me say this. I think when it comes to the Jets, I think people just say, "Oh, it's the Jets," a little too much. I think we could really shock the world this season.
I think there's a
have
better
already.
shot than the Giants do that.
Let him
yeah.
finish the spot.
And I mean, you look at this roster, right? Other than Zach Wilson, other than the QB position, where's the hole?
You're
Right
an
now,
idiot.
where's the hole
You're
on
dumb.
this team?
You-
I've been saying this since the offseason.
the
and I got
offensive
laughed
line's
at.
been
I
a
got
pretty big
mocked.
hole this year.
Okay.
That's not what we're laughing at you about. You were for
But
Zach, and now you're not for
before
Zach.
The season, No, that's not what I'm saying, Mike. Come on. Open
Alright.
your ears for once, dude. Like, listen.
There'll be plenty
listen,
of time for us to
listen.
talk about the
I'm
Jets
saying.
going forward. There'll be a big topic. What do you
No,
guys think of the
because
Bills? What do you guys think about the
that's
Bills?
not what's gonna happen.
Because I think I kind of have pretender vibes from them.
I
know
think
Zach.
they'll either blow you out,
Disagree.
right, like easily, or they will like be like a
Pause.
what?
I just keep going.
Huh?
I don't know. I think they're going to be good in the playoffs. I think they're just
They
having a
can't
little rough
run the
patch.
ball though, unless it's Josh Allen.
They never have been able to.
And
James Cook,
and
they're
don't
not
forget
using
they
him.
have
I just hope his dynasty
Crowder,
team pans
so-
out. Yeah, but he's hurt. He's
Oh,
been hurt
yeah.
all year, man.
oh no.
It really hurts to see. Yeah.
His career is over.
Our last thing today was David's
David's
World
World Cup.
minute.
Hold on, wait, hold on.
No.
Yeah, I don't know much about the World Cup. I watched the Ecuador game with some work friends, but that we have a minute for David to
Here we
talk
go.
about
Ready,
the World
3,
Cup
2.
here. And James, do you have anything else, or that's it? Because you're for Zach and not for Zach, so I think we got that.
I am for no. Mike's putting words in my mouth. I'm for Zach. He's obviously a hole right now, but I think he pans out, and I think he should start this Sunday.
All right, David,
So,
go ahead.
Or Zach Wilson.
Wait,
Put
before we
on
do
record.
that, when are we? Is it Wednesday that we're doing the next?
I have class, unless you guys want
Chris,
to do
Chris
like.
may have another Friendsgiving.
I do have one tonight, actually.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna try to do this twice a week, but now for the World Cup minute. So
Wait,
I really only know.
Oh, but we're also bringing a guest on before the minute starts. We're going to be doing a guest per week now. Okay.
Ooh,
We have Lauren, Bob,
Um,
that other kid that shows up at your house.
Mike, Liam,
Yeah,
Con, Sean, Joe.
bring a woman on the show.
Okay,
that
that's gonna
goes.
get.
Should you give her some? Should you give her some sandwiches?
That's out. That's out. All right, David, ready? Set. This is David's World Cup minute. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
All right, so I really only know Group B because that's where the USA is in. USA played a great game, a legendary draw against England, 0-0. Yesterday, no goals scored. They're third in the table, but if they beat Iran on Tuesday night or Tuesday in the afternoon, because we're playing in the middle of nowhere, we move on to the round of 16. So we just have to do what the U.S. loves to do and is good at, invading Iran. England's at the top of the table still, 4 points. They're probably going to move on, but they looked like a bunch of stiff Brits on Sunday afternoon. So not really scared of them. Let's see, what else? Other groups, not sure what group they're in. Brazil lost Neymar, great soccer player, I guess, for the rest of the tournament due to injury. So it just opens up the door for the U.S. to bring the cup home. That's the World Cup minute.
There we go. That's the World Cup minute.
3 seconds to spare.
Brought to you by nobody. So
I think, let me say this. I don't know much about soccer, but it just sucks how it ends in a tie every fucking
That's
time.
out.
I think it's ridiculous.
are,
How is that out? That's just,
we
everyone's
cursing on
thinking
this?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
why not?
I'm sure it's okay. I don't know if that word's okay,
Why wouldn't it be okay?
but like,
Sue me.
I mean, like, I don't know what
I mean, James could be canceled for like 3 things already said in this episode alone. So we'll see how it goes. I'll post and see if we get any feedback.
So this is going up on YouTube, Spotify, all those platforms.
But let's why does mine says 51 per? Do you
mine
guys
says
see that?
99%. Wait, Chris,
What?
Chris,
Yeah, you
Chris,
guys
we should
all
end
said
it and then talk about it after.
Okay, I'll end it, and then we'll talk about it after.
You have an
Outro?
outro?
Thanks
All
for
right.
listening.
Good. Yeah, we'll tune
Alright,
in probably
peace.
Thursday. You guys want in for Thursday?
People do things on Thursday though.
Probably, maybe.
Yeah, I have
Why don't we do
I have
like,
chess club.
God. All right, we're gonna. I'll cut it here. We'll talk. All
Unfunny.
right.
We should keep track of we should keep track of all the unfunny shows that like David made.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
time
A lot
to
of
go.
All right,
All right.
cutting it. See you guys.
What about
next week.
Monday? What about
All
Monday?
right.